Diana. This is Diana Simplified, and I'm going to just show you a couple of very simple recipes. Probably everybody in the world knows how to make a tuna fish sandwich, but this is the way my mom makes it, so I'm just gonna show you. It's very simple, and it's for picky, I would say it's for picky eaters, because I'm extremely picky about everything, tuna and everything else. So I'm gonna show you that, but the main reason I'm making this video is to show you how I make my hot chocolate. So that'll be part 2 of the video. Shara from, I think it's At Home with Shara C. I think that's the name of the, I meant to check that before I started this. Anyway, my friend Shara, she does Tiny Tidy Tuesday with us. She wanted me to show how I make my hot chocolate, and I drink hot cocoa all year. I don't do coffee. I do drink tea. I love tea, but typically, instead of what everybody else will be doing, drinking coffee, I get up in the morning and I make hot cocoa, and I make it on the stove, and it's really yummy. You can also just do it in the microwave, but I'm going to show you how I do it on the stove. Anyway, so I'm just going to go ahead and show you how I do this. I've got little bowls laid out here because I feed my cats the juice once I drain the juice. So that's what these little bowls are about. So the other thing that I use is Miracle Whip, and you don't have to use the light. That's just what I happen to have here. And you can use that sweet pickle relish. I actually like the kosher dill. I do either way, but it's just me today, so I'm gonna do the kosher dill spears and just cut those up into pieces. And that'll be the pickles. All right, so I'm gonna get started by, as usual, the air conditioning sound is in the background, so because I've got an air conditioner right behind me. So I'm just gonna start by, and I always use a hand can opener. I have an electric one. I don't use it. I don't even know why I bought it, because I've never used one. Now Ranger's getting excited. Ranger never ate his breakfast, so I've got his breakfast bowl up here, and I'm going to put a little bit of this juice on there for him. So here's his bowl with his food he never ate. So I'm just going to give him a little, so hopefully he'll actually eat now. So I have to divide this up between 3 cats and Ranger. So just a little bit, just a little bit for everybody. And unfortunately, my cat Cricket's got stomach issues, and she has been throwing up today, so I probably should give her a pill before I give her this, but I forgot to do that before I started the video too, so I'll give her a pill. Hopefully I'll remember to do that. But she's got stomach issues. She's been doing really well, but I don't give her medicine every day, and then that means that sometimes I just don't give it to her for a couple weeks, and I guess I'm a little behind giving her medicine. So she's just on a steroid. That's all it is. It's not like a, I mean, that's a serious drug, but it's not like it's, you know, what she has can be life-threatening in certain circumstances, but she's pretty much under control, so I'm not worried about the fact that she's been kind of sick this morning. I'm just going to go ahead and give her the juice anyway. I'm surprised Jasper's not screaming his head off because he's sitting right here. Usually he's always noisy. Sunshine's behind me. She wants a little of this. I think I'm not going to give Cricket too much since she's not feeling well. Okay, so I don't drain all the juice off. I leave just enough, because the more you drain off, then the more, depending on how goopy you want it, I like mine to be kind of a goopy mix of Miracle Whip and tuna. So depending on that, if you don't want it to be goopy at all, you want to drain all the liquid off completely and make it very dry. Okay. That's Jasper yelling at me. Now I've got to go in the other room and feed Cricket. She's fork. That's what I forgot. So then I get a big bowl. I go ahead and do 2 cans, and then we can have it in lunches and stuff like that for a day or 2. Generally Spencer eats a lot of this at once. Also forgot the spoon. Ah, not organized. All right, so so then I have the big bowl because I'm going to do 2 cans, and then I just scoop this into the bowl. Then I'm going to add the Miracle Whip. Again, if you prefer mayonnaise, then just add whatever you're used to. My mother, when I was staying with my mother when she had her knee surgery, she kind of got me hooked on Duke's mayonnaise. And I know there's all different brands all over the country, so I don't know if they even have Duke's where you live, but I'm really liking Duke's, but I'm not sure how much I would like it on tuna. We just had it like with ham sandwiches and stuff like that. And this is just the StarKist chunk-like tuna in water. This is what I've always used since I was a kid. I think my mom, when I was growing up, we got the oil. And then as we got older, we started using the in water. So this is the one that's in water. And I get these in a huge thing either at Walmart. I get, you know, several cans at a time, Walmart or Sam's, wherever I can get a good deal on it. Of course, as we know, prices are up on everything everywhere. So it's not the good deal it was a few months ago, but it's also a really good prepper pantry thing to have because you don't have to cook tuna. You can just open a can and eat it. You don't need it. You don't even have to have this. You can just have a couple pieces of bread and then I like mine to be, like I said, kind of goopy. I just like to have more instead of less. Miracle Whip on there or mayonnaise, depending on what you're using. So mine's, you know, yours may look really dry, and I like mine to be not that way. So you just make it the way you like it. But this is, we usually eat this. I think I already said this. We usually eat this every Sunday. This is Sunday when I'm making this video. Spencer's snorting. Not Spencer. Ranger snorting in the background. I guess he got some tuna juice up his nose. You okay, Ranger? He did eat all of his breakfast since I put that. He's so picky. I put every morning I put bone broth on his dry food, and I've noticed it's really helped his. Seems to really helped his joints. He just runs around like a puppy, and he's probably at least 11 or 12. So if your pet needs help with joints, I would say bone broth is the cheapest way to go. Not just chicken broth, but actual bone broth. And I get them organic. I feed it to Sunshine and to Ranger. It seems like it helps Sunshine a little bit with her platelet issues. So I just use my finger and, well, I wasn't really showing it. I just use my finger and get this off here. So if you have more than 2 people in the house, you may not want to do that. I know people are germ conscious. Spencer and I don't worry about it. It's just the 2 of us. Okay. Now, wipe my finger off a little bit. Now I'm going to cut these pickles up. And I really like Mount Olive. So this is just the Mount Olive kosher spears, kosher dill spears. And you can use anything you like. If you like Vlasic, I just happen to like this Mount Olive brand. They're always pretty crunchy, and I like that. Somehow the camera is not quite facing the right thing. I should have checked this, double checked this before I started. You know what, there's a half one in here. Maybe I should use the half. I don't think I need a whole one. Okay, so now that I got my stuff out of the way, you can see this. I think you can see this. Okay, so then all of my knives are terrible, so I don't have really good quality knives. I've had these knives forever, but I mean, they do the job. And the other thing is I don't cut my finger off while I'm using them. And then I just half this. We have an old TV station we like to watch. It's Start TV, and they have old TV shows. So at 3 o'clock, I think it's around 1:30 right now, or 1:45. 3 o'clock, I'm going to watch one of my favorite shows. I think I called it Unforgettable. I think it's Unforgotten. The woman remembers everything she's ever seen. It's an interesting show. Okay, so I've got all that cut off, and you can just put as many as you want. You can slice it as small as you want. And if you get that sweet relish, it's really small. And with the sweet relish, all you do is get a spoon and scoop it out and put it in. So you don't have to cut anything or do anything. So the relish is very simple. And then I'm just going to pick it up and put it in here and stir it around. And then I'm just going to put it on my bread and go. And that is the whole process. The chunks are kind of big, so if you don't want them that big, you would just need to keep cutting. I'm not picky about the chunks of pickles in there. But again, the sweet pickle relish is very chopped up, so it's really small. It's very easy to just pop some of that in here instead if you like the sweet pickles better. And that's the way mine looks. So you can see I do use quite a bit of Miracle Whip in there, so it's not real dry. I think a lot of people just use a lot less, but it's however you want to do it. All right, guys, I'll be back in a few minutes. I'm going to eat my lunch. I'll be back and do the cocoa in a few minutes. Thanks. Okay, I'm back. So now I'm going to show you how I make my, we'll call it my world famous hot cocoa, which of course it's not famous, but it's just what I do. So normally I use organic milk. Lately I have somehow realized when I had to start using my shelf stable milk, because it does have a date on here, and once the date starts getting close to the it's a best buy, but you know, if you kind of use it as a guide, once it gets close to that best buy date, I go ahead and use it. So I was using it and I realized my stomach's hurting a lot less, and I do have a lot of stomach issues, so I thought if this is the fix or part of the fix, then I'll just start using this as my milk. So this happens to be the 2%. This does come from Dollar Tree. You can get this other places. At Dollar Tree, of course, it's $1.25. At other places, I've seen a different brand, same size, at Walmart for over $3. So you can see this is a great value even as the price has gone up at the Dollar Trees. I know in Canada it's $1.50, so I feel for you guys. I know your food and everything is more expensive up there in Canada anyway, but it's still cheaper if your stores carry this. And at my store they have the 1%, the 2%, and the whole, and I drink any of it. So I'm just going to show you what's in my fridge right now, which is this one. This is the one I've been using. Now I mix two different types of cocoa. This is the Seiko Conscious Kitchen Organic Cocoa. I love this stuff, and it's more of a Dutch cocoa. I think it actually says, it just says fair trade natural baking, but it looks like a Dutch cocoa to me. I'm going to call it Dutch cocoa, whatever. And then this is the Hershey's Special Dark. So I love dark chocolate, but what I've noticed, I think I ran out of this, or I was running short on this, and so I made it for a few days just with this. It's just not as good, just one or the other. I like them mixed. I don't know why it would matter. I really don't. And if you just want to use one, just use one. But anyway, I do mix these two, and I do personally find it to be better this way. So I'm just going to use a little bit of each, and I'll show you that. Now, I put some organic coconut oil in mine. Now, if you're going to use coconut oil, you want to get this unrefined. One day I accidentally picked up the wrong kind, the refined, that's not what you're looking for. Yeah, you kind of want to get the organic. I mean, it's up to you what you get, but you kind of just want to pay more. Get the organic, get the unrefined, and this just adds some fat to it. You don't have to have it. It doesn't really affect the taste any for me, but I just like to have a little bit of fat in there. Fat's good for you. All these years I did low fat forever. And then I started learning that fat's actually really good for you. So I'm not saying use tons of it, and you don't need to have tons of fat in your diet, but you need more than what you've been told. So you don't have to use this if you don't want, but I love it. So this is from Walmart. It's the Great Value, and it's still running, I think, around $11. I think it was $10.99 for this thing. I just got a full one. So this is 29 ounces, and at Aldi, we have an Aldi across the street. I've seen people say Aldi is like half the price. My Aldi, I don't know if it's because it's right across the street from Walmart, but it is not half the price. It is pretty much the same price. So this is obviously the Walmart brand, and it's pretty much comparable in price to the Aldi organic brand that they have. That's what I used to buy. It's a much smaller thing, and it's like $4.99. So, you know, $10.99 for this. And now I'm sure the $4.99 has gone up. That was back before the prices were, you know, rising every week as they are now. Now, I also use Swerve. You can just use sugar if you're not into different sugar replacement type things. This is the granular. It's the ultimate sugar replacement, non-GMO, granular sugar. 0 calories, natural taste, bakes, and measures like sugar. Now, for me personally, this does not taste like sugar at all, but that's what they say. So what I do, because it does not taste like sugar to me, it's not enough for me to have that by itself. Then I add, this is very expensive for this. This is coconut sugar, organic coconut sugar. And it's got some sort of clean sugar award. I think I figured out per ounce, it's actually cheaper to get this one than the Great Value one. So this is unrefined organic coconut sugar. I'm trying to find the size. 3 pounds. This is 3 pounds. And I can't remember what the price is. I want to say it's $12 or $13. It may have gone up some. So I don't use a lot. I mean, it's not a huge amount. Either one of these. This is like $8 for this tiny thing. This is a pound. So this actually costs more than this does. But anyway, it's just whatever. If you just use regular white sugar, then just use that. I think I do too much sugar, so I try to just kind of cut down on my sugar. And then at the very end, I'm going to put whipped topping in here. And I'm going to show you, this is the Aldi brand, but I'm going to show you what I actually like better than this. And it's, I'm sure, healthier, but hang on, let me get it out. Because of all the price increases, I've kind of laid off some of my organic, and this one's non-GMO, but it's I think it's called Galia coconut whipped topping made with real coconut cream. I prefer this. It's non-GMO. It's over $3 for this tiny thing. So it's non-GMO. Let's see, 6.5 ounces. It's also vegan. Anytime you're using coconut stuff, it's vegan. So if you're a vegan, I'm not. I eat meat all the time, but 6.5 ounces. But if you're a plant-based, then you probably like this kind of stuff. But and of course this is dairy. So but this is 8 ounces. So and this is still only around $1 at Aldi. So that's why I sort of switched out. I'm not using this like I was because it just gets expensive, and especially when you're using this expensive coconut sugar and this expensive Swerve. If you're using the cheapest sugar on the planet, you know, you can still get sugar for not much. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and start my process, but that's everything I'm using. And then what I do, oh, I forgot to get my little cup out. So my friend, I was right. It is At Home with Shara C. And I'll tag her. Now, my friend Katie from Katie Planning My Energy gave me these cute cups. She was decluttering, and I was like, oh my gosh, those cups, those are so cute. I want to show you something funny about these cups too. Once I got them, something kind of interesting happened. So some of you saw a video a long time ago where I showed you these plastic bowls, and they came in all different colors. And I don't know if you can tell that this has like a little flecks in it, like little brown flecks. Look at this. So it's not exactly the same color, but isn't it funny? I was showing my husband, I was like, look how close this is. It's no wonder when I saw these on her channel, and I was like, oh, I gotta have those. And I said, I would just love those cups. And she sent them to me. Our mail service is so great. She lives up in Washington State, which is, of course, nowhere near me. I'm close to Memphis, so it's all the way across the country. However, it took it a month to get here. So we actually sort of lost hope. We thought it was never coming. And I told her, don't send it priority, because honestly, they don't even promise priority in 3 days anymore. So I was like, don't bother doing priority, because to me, if you can't promise it in 3 days and get it there in 3 days, it ain't worth it. So I was like, we'll just take our chances. So we kind of thought it was lost, but it did get here. So anyway, I used to use a larger mug, so now I'm bringing it down to a smaller size. So I kind of know how much, but I go ahead and just measure it out in here. Instead of measuring it here and dumping it out, I just go ahead and use this. And so I know it's less than a cup, so it's not a full cup. And then I'm gonna put the whipped topping on top, and it's you know, you don't want it spilling everywhere. So I just make this under a cup. If you use this milk, you do want to refrigerate it before you use it. So this is not quite a cup, what I just poured in here. Because again, I just don't want it spilling out, so you can kind of see where we are here. A little bit less than a cup. Now, I just use this tiny little one. And again, you can do this in the microwave if you want. It's kind of hard, especially I did it all the time, but my cups were cracking. I think we were having trouble with our microwave. So down in the bottom, there would be a crack, and I cracked some dishes too. So we've got a different microwave now, but I really don't want to chance it. So I just go ahead and put it in here. And you may think it's silly to measure it out. I just kind of want it to be pretty exact. So yes, I'm messing up another dish. I get it, but I just want it to be really exact so it's not overflowing when it all is said and done. Okay, so then doesn't matter which cocoa you start with. I'm just going to put about that much, if you can see that, about that much. So this is a big spoon. This is not one of those tiny little, this is not the tiny little spoon. I use these, I love these larger spoons. My husband thinks I'm weird. I don't use the regular size spoons. I love these. I don't even know what they call these, but they're much larger, but this is what I like. And then I'm going to put the other one in. And I just eyeball it, so it's about like this. Again, this is the larger spoon, not the little one. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put my cocos away because I don't need them anymore, so I'm just going to get them out of my way. Now, I'm going to go ahead and put this on this. It's wet on the bottom, I think. I'm going to go ahead and put it on the stove top. Now, I usually put it on about 3.5 because I'm using less milk now, because I'm using a smaller one. I'm going to just put it on 3. So it's just gonna be on a low heat, because what ends up happening if you're not careful, even if you're stirring it, it gets scalded to the bottom, and there's no reason to waste our good chocolate scalded to the bottom of this thing. So then I just get this thing and I just stir it. So it may take a little bit longer because I just put it on 3, but again, we don't want everything scalding and stuck to the bottom. It just makes life harder, and we don't want to waste our chocolate. Everything is so expensive. We definitely don't want to waste our chocolate. Where I live, that cocoa is around $3.50. So for each one of the cocos, it's around $3.50, and it lasts me a good long time because you saw I'm only using a little at a time. And yes, I do make this pretty much every single day. So this morning I was in a bit of a hurry. I overslept a little bit. I set my alarm late because I don't sleep that well, and I just decided to set the alarm late and just cut my losses this morning. So I didn't have to be at church till, I didn't start till 10:45, but we have to leave about 10:15. So I got up about 8:15, which sounds like that gives me plenty of time to do everything, but I have to deal with cats and pets in general and medication. And in fact, that reminds me, I think I forgot to I didn't give Sunshine her medicine this morning. I've been doing it one in the morning and one at night, but it doesn't really matter. But I feel like she has more energy in the mornings if I give her that. So anyway, I'm wondering where my water is, because I was sitting outside. Now I've gotten kind of overheated a little bit. Now the air conditioner's coming on good because I'm hot. Probably not a good time to be making cocoa, because I got I didn't feel hot when I was out there, but then now that I'm in, I'm like, man, I'm hot. Now this is what this thing looks like that I'm stirring with. It's just this. I had just a regular, what do you call it, thing that you stir with? I forget what it's called. But I broke it. I messed it up. It was another metal one like this, but there's a word for it. I forgot what it's called, but I tore it up. Now I'm just going to wipe my spoon off because I don't want it to have cocoa all over it. And then I'm going to go ahead and add the swerve and the oh no, wait. No, that's not right. First I add this. I don't know that it matters. I add this first. So this is the coconut oil. Now if you don't like coconut, you may not want this. This may not be your thing. But I really like it. I don't think it really changes the taste that much. It just gives you some oil. And some good healthy fat. Nobody eats out of this but me, so I don't have a problem wiping my finger across here to just get that off. This stuff costs so much, you don't want to just be wasting it. And then I just wipe my spoon off with the paper towel again, and then it'll be nice and dried off. And then I'm going to put it into the swerve. And I just go ahead and put stuff up as I'm doing it, so I'm going to go ahead and put this back in the cabinet. I'm going to get into my swerve, and I just eyeball this too. I'm still using this large spoon. So about like that, okay. And then I don't really care if a little bit of swerve gets mixed in with my coconut sugar. So I don't worry about wiping that spoon off unless it got wet. And so that looks about like that. Dump that in, and I'll go ahead and put this away. Now you don't have to, if you just want it warm, you can take it off whenever you're ready. Once you've got everything melted in there, you can just kind of decide how warm or hot you want it. I usually keep mine on there a while. I'm going to go ahead and put this milk away while it's doing its thing here. And I'm just going to keep stirring it. Feels to me like it's plenty warm. I can feel the heat coming off of here, so I think I'm going to probably go ahead and take it off. And I'm going to wipe this spoon off. Usually I just go ahead and get another spoon, but I think I'm just going to wipe it off. because then I'm going to put the whipped topping on top of it. Now normally, because I don't want to make a mess, I hang over the sink when I do this, but I'm just going to be real careful. I'm going to turn this off before I forget. I have been known to leave this on, and I don't know if I can tip it where you can see it. It's kind of hard to see, but anyway, I'm just going to go ahead and pour it carefully into here. You kind of see it pouring in, and it's getting very full. I'm going to stop it right there, so I'll have a little extra left over. I thought I measured it correctly, but I guess I didn't. I don't know. And then you can just spoon in some however much whipped topping you want, and you don't really want this to overflow. Of course, it sometimes doesn't want to come off it just doesn't want to come off of there. And then, so that's what you see in my video. I have a picture of hot cocoa in my video, and that's what you're seeing. It's that right there. Isn't that pretty? So that's that. And then when I finish this, I'll go ahead and pour this in the cup and drink that, the rest of it. So that's all there is. Very quick and easy. It took me 15 minutes to talk about it and do it. But anyway, that's all it is, and it's very yummy. Just a nice little treat if you like something chocolatey in the morning or even in the afternoon. Love you guys. Thanks for joining me. Bye-bye.